was such a good surprise, right? Because it was like everything you needed, right? Telling like just believing in yourself, and you already have a podcast idea. Like you just have to present yourself to the world as you are. But that's kind of a running theme. I feel like I just have to keep being reminded, because it's one of those things I've always been producing for other people, and so putting myself in the forefront has really been a struggle for me. But when I met Tiffany Haddish last year, and she was like, "God don't make mistakes."
I thought I had to chase who I was meant to be, but the more I grow, the more I see it's not about a role, a race, or a prize to claim. It's finding peace in my own name, just me becoming serene.
Hello, beautiful. Welcome to another episode of Becoming Serene with me, Ruth Debonair Southall. I am so glad that you joined us today. And if it is your first time, do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, of course, so that you will continue to be notified when other episodes are released just for you. Because remember, this podcast was designed for women like you who are entrepreneurial minded and you want to embrace peace in your pursuit of purpose. So a few weeks ago, I had the honor and distinct pleasure to attend the 2025 Podcast Summit in Atlanta. And when I tell you it was one of the most amazing investments I've ever made, it was beyond spectacular. And one of the most impactful things that I received were the connections that were made with fellow podcasters. So I'm so excited to present to you all today an interview, just a little impromptu interview with a new friend and fellow podcaster, Miss Liz Savage. Liz Savage is a stand-up comedian, indie film producer, and adjunct professor of digital media production. As a military spouse who's been stationed everywhere but Hollywood, she found opportunities and turned challenges into a dynamic career in entertainment. Liz holds a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism and Public Communication. She's also an award-winning director, podcast producer in the top 5% of Apple Podcasts, and has worked on projects for NBC, CMT, Fox, and HBO. She was even recently recognized as one of the top 101 comics at the World Series of Comedy Festival. So please welcome to Becoming Serene, my friend and fellow podcaster from the Podcast Summit 2025, all thanks to the brilliant mind of David Shands, Liz Savage. Hello there, beautiful. And this is Ruth Debonair Southall with the Becoming Serene podcast. And this podcast is just for you. It is to inspire entrepreneur-minded women who want to pursue peace and embrace their peace as they pursue their purpose and success, however that may look for you. So guess what? I am here live from the Podcast Summit 2025 in the ATL in Atlanta, Georgia. And I have here with me one of my brand new friends, Miss Liz Savage. Liz and I met on yesterday, getting acquainted at our community intensive. So, Liz, tell me what brought you here to the Podcast Summit.
I came here because I'm thinking about starting a podcast.
Duh.
But also, so I'm a digital media professor, and I came here just because podcast is kind of like my weak area. I'm usually like film, television, live shows, things like that. So, I try to be up on game. So I came up here to learn about podcasting, how to monetize, how to get an audience, things like that.
Wonderful. And when did you first even hear about the Podcast Summit?
Like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And she moved on it like that. Like, I've been in the community since February, so I have a little skin in the game. But this young lady heard about it 2 weeks ago and was like, you know what? Let me be there. Let me get my face into place. So tell me something that you've already. We had some time yesterday, but this morning, oh my God, like we got surprised by the ET, Eric Thomas is in the building. So tell me, what takeaways you have already, girl.
Oh man, already? My notebook is already full. I filled up like 5 pages. I'm just writing. Yeah, I was definitely surprised by ET coming out, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know we were going to church today." Where's my hat?
Right, your hat. You wear
So I was like, but it was such a good surprise, right? Because it was like everything you needed, right? Telling like just believing in yourself, and you already have a podcast idea. Like you just have to present yourself to the world as you are. Which that's like that's kind of a running theme. I feel like I just have to keep being reminded because it's one of those things I've always been producing for other people, and so putting myself in the forefront has really been a struggle for me. But when I met Tiffany Haddish last year, and she was like, "God don't make mistakes," like, and she was like, "You got to know, you got to say it." She like made me say it. She's like, "I was like, God don't make mistakes." I was like crying in the middle of a party, and like, and then today ET's like, "I am," and I was like, but it's just like it's a really great reminder that like everything I tell my students, like, be authentic, be yourself, put yourself out there. And now I'm like, okay, I gotta do it too. And so I'm like, but I feel more ready now, just because I'm surrounded by people who are in this environment. It feels way more doable. And so that's the other thing is they make it seem so approachable. They're like, just use your phone, just use this. And I'm like, I know how to use every camera under the sun, but I'm like, why didn't I just use my phone?
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. That was one of your drawbacks. Oh my God. But that's mainly because we will make excuses. Like it's not an excuse. We make excuses for why we do. Oh, most definitely. So, my darling, I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to go ahead and do what I do. Like, so when are you going to press record, girl? Has it been named? Like, I need to know your whole journey. Like, let's go because I want dates to this. I'm about to be accountable. I'm going to be your accountability partner. Let's do this.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about the name Smartish, just because I like to say you don't have to know everything, you just have to know some stuff, or you have to know enough. Sometimes it's better if you don't know anything because then you don't get in your own way. So I want to name it Smartish. I want to talk to industry professionals about producing and how to make things happen, whether that's marketing, intellectual property, storytelling. I have sent out some feelers for people to be on my podcast. I'm waiting to hear back. And I have sent out feelers for not sponsorships necessarily, but like codes to put in my what is it called?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the ad reads and affiliates. Like yeah, so I've sent out some stuff for that to see how that comes back. But I'm not waiting on that to start. I'm waiting to get my guests, which I guess I gotta name it. But this event is actually offering a lot of clarity because of how to structure it. And I'm like, well, I don't know that. I know the premise is solid just because of my background, but like, is that the name that's going to be the recognizable thing that they're talking about? So I got to figure that out as I kind of work through it this week, I think. But I mean, I feel like I'm on my way.
Yes, most definitely. I do too. So, in addition to the everything you lined up and said you have put out and the fillers and everything, yes, a name is very, very important. However, like, what is your direction? One thing that I've learned here and through this community, which is the My Seven Figure podcast community, is that we create an avatar, like who is our listening audience. And so we have to ask ourselves, okay, our ideal listener is this person, this is their age, this is what they do, this is what they're looking for. And more importantly, like ET and everyone said, these are their pain points. These are the problems I'm going to solve. You and I have discussed them. So I know some of them, but please share with my audience, like, what is it? Like you said, you know all the cameras and what they do. Maybe I can't name one camera, like one camera. No, ma'am. All I know is Sony make some cameras, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's a great question. So I think my typical audience is broadly is going to be anybody who wants to be a content creator, because I want to teach people how to create content, how to understand the levels on the audio and how to use their camera and how to get that lighting right. And so for me, I think that the more specific avatar is going to be typically my clients already are like in that realm would be I guess like middle aged to older women who want to start businesses or want to put themselves out there and just don't know how, because all the kids there know how to use their phones and they're all editing and they're all doing the thing, but I do find myself gravitating towards like older clients, which I love because then I get to help them understand technology and how to use computers. And last semester I had a lady, she didn't even know how to save like a file to an SD card, but then by the end of the semester she made a whole video, and I was just like, that's why I love doing this. And then she put herself out there. It's on YouTube. It's great. And so I think I just got to remind myself, like, I'm helping people learn how to tell their stories. And so I don't know.
Okay, so I'm standing here thinking that I don't know how to do. Well, I know how to do that. I can
You
save.
can save a file.
I know how to
You
save
can
a
drag and
file.
drop.
Yeah. I don't know where she's been, but I can do some of those things.
Yeah.
But as far as editing the video and cutting and pasting, I have very minimal knowledge of that. But I gave birth to my editor and my CapCut. Like, I gave birth to the people who take care of the Becoming Serene show. Shout out to Jacob and Mackenzie who hold their mom down. But I am aware that I still should know some things. I should be able to do some things on my own. So I personally need you to press record and start on the simplest of things for Smartish. Because, baby, when I tell you, I'm not just going to track and watch, I'm going to track, watch, and share with my audience, because it is for entrepreneurial, just not minded women, but women, period, who may not have started to create content. Like, they're still in a brick and mortar and they're still trying to figure things out, especially online, and to have a voice, which is why we're standing here. Your voice is your power. Use it. When I say E.T. blew my mind, but one of the things that impressed me most about what he said is, guess what? He said that your voice is your power. Duh. But use it. He said you already have a podcast. So many people. Your superpower. He did. See, she took notes. She wrote it down. That's why she remembered it. She retained it because she wrote it down. I just audio recorded it. But honey, the other thing is that you have a podcast already, David, and all of them were saying you have the podcast because guess what? Wall Street Trapper said all of us have podcasts because you have a phone. You have conversations on the phone. All you haven't done is press record and put it out there.
Oh man, he said turn it around,
baby,
turn the camera
turn it
around, and I was like,
yes,
my face, like, don't
it's
come.
the truth. We spout stuff to people all the time.
Scrolling. We're already on the app, but we're not uploading our own stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, leave me alone.
I'm not gonna even tell you. I used to go live on Facebook for years, every Sunday night for years, and we did finally. And I think that's one of the reasons that Facebook now erased all of the things in your archives, because it made us have to download it. So now I have all of it, and I've yet to have it uploaded on my channel, which is something else that we need to do because we have the content. And did you take the challenge, Liz? Are you wondering what challenge I'm going to ask you? Yep. Come on. No, not just the 5 days, 6 months. What did David say for 6 months?
Oh, the 6 months to make bad content.
Bad content, man.
I don't know how to make bad content. I don't know how to make bad content.
Oh, we know how to make bad content. We know. Press record and just ramble. Just press record and ramble,
girl.
Girl.
Put my hair all crazy and be like outside with my chickens. Like,
we did not say do that.
He said bad.
Oh my God. So speaking of your hair all crazy and the chickens, tell me a little bit about some other things in your background, like with your husband being in the military and you travel a lot. Tell us about being a military spouse.
Oh, yes. So first of all, I love it. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. We've been doing this for going on 14 years now. Yeah. And so one of the reasons that I really like it is because we get to move around a lot. The downside with that is working in film and television. You got film and television in Hollywood, New York, and Atlanta, which I never been stationed in any of those places with my husband. So that didn't work for me. So every time he gets deployed, I'll go move out there and make connections and work. You know, I've worked for really great shows like The Voice, and things like that. But when I'm at home, I like to be at home with my husband. So one of the things that I got into and able to keep my foot in the door with entertainment is actually stand-up comedy. Wow. Which I never thought I would do because I'm actually really shy and like awkward. And so I was like, you know, when I told people I was doing it, they're like, what? You were like, you don't even talk to strangers. And I was like, yeah, but I mean, I get to write it out ahead of time. And so it's given me the opportunity to really, travel on my own and, keep my foot in the entertainment industry, but also just like explore with audiences and build connections with people, which I really love. And so there's that in person aspect. And so I think that's another reason I'm drawn to podcasts, because you get to build this audience, this community, this connection with people. And so that's that I think it all kind of is going to come together in a good way, because I need that. I need connection. I know a lot of people are all too happy to close themselves up in their room and not talk to anybody, but I'm like, I need people in my life.
Most definitely. I'm the exact same way. You know what came to me when you said that is that guess what? You have the fillers out and you have already, asked different people to be guests on your show or whatever. But I think your show needs to start off with being you. You authentically being you, telling your story and what it is that you have to share. Like have a bunch of cameras or whatever on the table and just like say, this is me, Liz Savage, and I have this media company, and I would love to be your media person. And let me tell you why, and add some comedy to it. And I promise you, put that out. Those guests will be like, "What do I have to do?" Like for real. That would be totally awesome. And to let them know what it is that you're going to do for them, what problems you're going to solve. That'd be awesome. So I would definitely love to be a guest. We can even have this whole conversation, girl. Like, just go ahead and do that virtual connection, and yes, introduce it like that. Yes, ma'am. So we're all right. I'm gonna get a date out of her. I'm gonna get a date. That's right. Yes. I will stop whatever I'm doing. And I'm the crazy type of guest, girl, that I'll do that joint in the middle of the night. Ask my children. They're like, Mom, it is midnight. Why are we recording? I'm like, because I have to right now. I have to get it out. So thank you so much, Liz, for being my first guest at the Podcast Summit 2025. This has been absolutely amazing. If you like anything that you've heard or you want to be here next time, please do not hesitate to go ahead and click that link. I'm going to put my affiliate link because I am a My Seven Figure Podcast community member, and I invite you to join this community because it is absolutely fabulous. You get to meet fun, awesome people like Liz over here, but you get to realize that you need to use your voice because it is your power, and not just your power. Like ET said, it is your super power. You never know who's going to be in the building and who you can have the opportunity to meet. So thank you so much for watching. Once again, it's Ruth Debonair Southall's Becoming Serene podcast. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you next time. It may be on the couch, but it may be on the road because clearly I've taken this show on the road. Who knew? I didn't. I love you. Until next time. Wasn't that so cool that we were just able to step aside during this event and just interview one another, because that was me interviewing her, but she had an opportunity to interview me, and that was going on the whole weekend. It was just so electrifying that all of us podcasters were in our, just in our zone. So thank you so much for joining me once again, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And also do not forget to follow my friend Liz on all of her social media handles and watch her podcast when her new episodes drop as well. Thank you so much again for watching. Bye for now.